You look like you used the zone quite a bit tonight. Why haven't you been using it the rest of the year? It's gonna have results like this.
Yeah, well, if we're gonna hold people at 30% from the field, you know, just, we're a man-to-man program, you know, and I've always really been strongly committed over a long period of time to man-to-man, but sometimes circumstances maybe require you to take a look. We played a lot of zone last game as well, so we're trying to develop that. Tonight was great. It was great. The one thing that you always worry about in the zone is rebounding is tougher because you don't have individual block-out responsibilities, and a lot of times guys are just in zone offense, set one or two big guys right by the basket, and so rebounding is hard. We've rebounded. It's funny, we've been a great rebounding team all year, and now the last two games we've played more zone, and now we're not rebounding so well, so we got to get that fixed. But the defense was great, and those defensive numbers will, if you can do that every night, you're going to win an awful lot of games.
Was that defense the biggest difference between the, what was it, 30-point swing between game one up at their place and game two here?
Well, a couple things. They played very well in that game. If I'm not mistaken, they had come off 2 losses to begin against tough teams. I forget who they played today. That was their start. We caught them at a time early, I think game 3, if I'm not mistaken. And they were really, you know, the psychology of that game was not in our favor. We had won some game. We were playing pretty well. They were on it, and we got in foul trouble badly in the first half. We had Ethan, Jimmy, Isaiah on the bench with 2 fouls for a good part. I want to say with about 8 minutes to go in that game in the first half, we're right there. We're tied, and then all of a sudden we're out of whack. We got guys playing out of position. And we closed the half down, and then you know, that really hurt us. But they played very well. We had a hard time guarding. We didn't guard them well there, and so yes, you know, we felt like this was a much better strategy, and it paid off.
It seems like y'all made more of an effort to get in the paint tonight on offense on the other end, especially Jamal. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, you know, Jamal in the last several games, we've just really been. He's really trying to do what we're asking him to do, is to try to make, you know, a lot more plays for others, and the only way you do that is to drive the ball. And tonight, not only did he drive it, he got all the way to the basket a good amount, and that's partly because we have a lot of guys who can shoot the ball. And when you spread the floor, you make guys make decisions. Let's say Ethan's man or Isaiah's man. Those are big guys, and they've got to make a decision. Am I going to go sit in the paint and let the guards kick out to those guys for an open 3 or not? And that's, you know, we try to put people in that position, but Jamal's been, you know, really just, I mean, it's funny, it's like he shoots less and scores more, you know, which is efficiency, and that's really good. And you're right, he's driving the ball more, and that's by design, and it's really helping us.
You talked about the improvement in your defense, but are you concerned with giving up 70 field goal attempts? And
yes.
When's the last time you played a team, gave up that many, and won by 18?
No, it's crazy. I mean, some of these numbers it's crazy. And well, look at this. You know, one of the great formulas for winning games is to out-rebound the other team and out-turnover them, because that means we get to shoot more than you do. You know, let's say we get 6 more offensive rebounds than you do and 5 less turnover. That's 11 more shots we get to take. It's a pretty good formula for winning, and if you look over time, that wins most of the time. We got out-rebounded. We did the opposite tonight. Yes, it's concerning, because if you're going to give up 70 shots, they better not be making a very high clip. So we don't have it all solved. You know, we still have some holes to fill, but maybe we're on the right track anyway. But we really. I think, you know, the rebounding, you're going to give some of that. The turnovers, we've been so good all year. I want to say we're like 48th in the country or something in the least amount of turnovers. And now we picked tonight to have a big turnover game. We can't afford that. We can't afford that. We could afford a little bit of rebounding issues, but not both. We can't afford both of those, so we're going to have to do better.
What does this win mean to break the losing streak going into this last stretch?
Well, just, yeah, I don't know, we just feel a million times better. Losing is a miserable existence for all that are involved. I don't care if you're a competitor. And I'm not so sure, I don't know if it feels worse or better to have the way we've lost 3 of them on last possessions, 2 of them, well, maybe 4 of them were last possession, you could argue, and 1 of them was a really close game. Not 3 of them were last possessions. 1 of them, we kind of had the game. They hit 2 big shots late to beat us, and then the 5th one we were close, but not close enough. I mean, so I don't know what feels better or worse. I just know they feel pretty much the same when you lose, and I'm just glad these guys have been. One thing I've really been impressed with, I watch scores around the country, and just different leagues or whatever, and you'll see a team play great, and then they'll play good, and then they'll play terrible. And they'll, they get beat 20, and then next, they just kind of up and down, up and down. I've really been proud of our guys, and nothing to show for it, and certainly we don't get a little ribbon or a trophy for this, but we've been playing well every night. We just didn't, but we didn't finish it. We didn't finish the game, but I am impressed with their resiliency and their ability to get up to play every game and to compete, and not to ever have a flat game or one where they lie down or whatever. I see that around the country, and so I have to respect that. And yet, what do you get for that? Nothing. And you get nothing for that. Doesn't matter whether you lost on a last second spinning shot off the glass or you lost by 10. So, but I do appreciate the character that they're showing in that regard, and I'm happy that they can feel great tonight.
You talked about your program being a man-to-man defense program mostly, and then tonight you played more zone. How much of that was due to the matchups you saw with Connecticut, and how much was due to simply trying to manage the mileage on the tires of your first 6 who you rely so heavily on?
I'd say both. I'd say both, and then also understanding, without putting on film out there for all our opponents to see, but also trying to manage, you got to know your strengths and your weaknesses too. Some of it's matchups, some of it's just some things that we see that are hard for us to cover up that others are probably seeing. So we need a balance of that. Some nights we're going to play more zone, some nights we're going to play a lot more man. But it is going to be dictated by opponent, by matchups, and also what we feel like we can get away with.
Is there a little extra magic in the red jerseys? 5-0
Maybe, and we always wear those against UConn here, correct? I mean, we've always done that, and somehow miraculously our league didn't allow us to play here last year, which was really, Connecticut feels like one of our rivals. I don't know, it's just kind of started out a long time ago, and so red has been good, and I thought we looked really good in the red uniforms. I thought the people in the stands that were wearing red looked pretty darn good too.